Hello.
Yeah, good everyone.
Morning,
I
sir.
think
Good morning, sir.
morning, morning. I think we should give Jodasco a few minutes to join before we kick off. Then I'll introduce myself to everyone. We think for this one. Okay, I think we would have to start because we are running against time. We have so much to cover today. I am Victor Chichukwoko, and I am a product manager and also a cybersecurity expert. And I will be your instructor for today. And I also have another instructor who will be coming to share more in-depth part of product design with you. His name is Mr. Godwill. Yes. So today we are going to be going through product development, and I believe you geniuses, because I believe everyone is a
So,
genius.
okay, but
Can you hear me?
please,
Can you hear
first,
me?
no problem.
If you can hear me, just say yes in the chat section so I know you guys are feeling. Okay, okay.
So, is that
We can hear you. Can they kindly mute your mic?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So today we'll be going through product development. When we talk about product development, it involves development of a new product in the market. So in the phase of product development, there are four phases of a development cycle. There are several phases of a development cycle rather. Which of you geniuses can tell me the numbers of steps we have or stages we have in the product development cycle window? You can type the numbers in the chat section so we can see, and I know you're feeling.
Somebody should draw that cycle.
Where's the chat section? Okay, that's it. Okay. Okay, so no one has given an answer. How many stages of the product development cycles do we have? I believe if you are geniuses, you should be able to guess, even though you don't get it. It's a learning phase, so you should not be shy. Yeah, seven, seven. That's good. BSS Mbappe, that's very lovely. You people are already becoming. I think people are our favorite days ago.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. Lucy, Government Girls Secondary School. Wow, I have so many geniuses in the house. I'm happy. I'm happy. So in regards to this, we have seven seven of the human development cycle. And the seven phases consist of seven phases comprises of so can you turn off your microphone? Okay. The seven phases comprises of the ideation phase, the research phase, the requirement, the architecture phase, the design, development, then testing and launching. But design and development is often called D and D. It's called design development phase because they are required at the same phase of a product development cycle. um, apps are being born in a way where it moves from idea phase because we all have ideas. I'm sure every human being has ideas running through their mind every day, but most times we tend to forget. So how many of you do journal? How many of you do
That's
jot
all right.
things down to remember? How many of you do jot things down? If you do, you can just indicate in the chat section. Jotting things down is a way of saving things. Yesterday, my colleague who was your programming instructor told you that
Okay, guys.
the computer is also a dull and a fast device. When you mean dull, it means that the computer can do a lot, but it needs a person on you who is the handler. Without you, the computer is useless. So it's the same thing with your brain, but your brain is more powerful than the computer. Without jotting things down, you tend to forget. Without journaling, you tend to forget things you have thought about. So it's very important that you have an idea, you write it down. Because you have an idea, you don't jot it down, the tendencies for you to forget is very, very high. So you write things down. When you write it down, you move on to the research phase. When you move on to the research phase, then you start looking for the requirements which you can use to bring this idea to life so that it can be developed and sent out to the consumers. The consumers in the product development cycle are the end users. That is where the product comes to an end. That is where you know your product is completed. So when product development is concerned, it's considered a team sport. One person can't handle a product development. That's why you have your product developer, you have your product designers, you have your marketers. And as a product manager like myself, which I know most of you juniors will decide to take on, you would understand that you have to have ideas of every phases of a product development cycle because if you don't have an idea about each any of the phases, you might tend to suffer if any of your teammates is unavailable at the moment because we are human beings. There are unforeseen circumstances that can happen. So we will move on. We'll move into the idea phase, which involves solving real problems. In the idea phase, you note few things down. What problem are you trying to solve? What solution are you providing? And what value will your idea solve? In Problems are part of life. Everyone has problems. Everyone has encountered problems. But something else you need to know is problems create opportunities. Every problem is a business opportunity waiting to be capitalized on. So I always have a phase in my life. I always have a phrase I always apply in my life. Problems always comes with solution. It's either you focus on the solution or you focus on the problem. So it's on you. So anytime you encounter a problem, instead of looking at focusing on the problem, focus on what is this problem trying to tell me? What solutions can I apply to resolve such problem? Because problems are temporary and you should not dwell on them. So the problem involves what is difficult, missing, or broken. This is where you now research, okay, people have this problem, which is a known fact. You don't have to deny or live in a delusion. Then you focus on, okay, what is the solution? What solution can I provide? What technology can fix this problem? Then you move on to the value. What value will my solution bring? Because without having a value, that means your solution is useless. So let's move on to, okay, in the earlier days, we had problems of communication where we had to send letters, and sometimes these letters don't get to the recipient. We end up having heartbreak. Maybe you're in love, or probably you have a brother who's in the war zone. Referring to the back days where people go for war and they try to conquer other people. And when they conquer, they take over your city or take over your country or colonize you they start giving you rules. Nowadays, instead of waiting for letters to be written, we have telephone that has made things very faster. We have these gadgets are used to communicate with you or to make things very, very easy. And in the product development cycle, we have tools we use to take note of this value, of these ideas that we have. We have the whiteboards, which is your whiteboard. I know most of you have whiteboards in your classes. Then you have the mirror. Mirror is software. We have stick notes. Stick notes is a paper you use to write down things while you're brainstorming. You just write it down and you put it on like on probably on your wall as a reminder so that you don't forget. Like I said earlier, your brain is a very powerful tool and it processes so much in minutes more than a computer. But most people don't. Why I call everyone geniuses is because I believe our brain, everyone has a brain that is functional, but most people haven't applied it because they lack the belief in this in themselves. Whatever you do today, never lose belief in yourself because when you lose belief in yourself, you've lost it all. You can't do anything. So always remember what I just told you. You all are geniuses in your own different ways. That's why you need teams. That's why we brought each schools here. That's why we asked to have 5 people from each school because you all need each other to thrive. No one can do it. It's not an individual sport. Just like in football, you need the striker, you need the defenders, and you need the midfielder. It makes up a team, and you need a goalkeeper. Without a goalkeeper, you are porous to goals. So that's about the idea phase. Then after your ideas, you have to see, okay, how does this value, this solution I want to bring impact the consumers? What are these consumers I have in mind that I'm thinking about also suffer this problem, which is the second phase of the product development cycle. The second phase goes into research. That is where the user story comes in place. This is where you now have to, okay, what are these people suffering? These people have in mind that intend to provide solutions to what are they going through or what are they encountering? Good morning, JSS Karashi, good morning, JSS Pape, good morning, JSS Peggy, Mr. Easy, JSS Shere, we see you, good morning, JSS Dupa, JSS Mabushi, JSS Jabi. Thank you all for joining our live today. You are geniuses and we are so happy to have you all here. So thank you. Your user story, like I was saying, is where your research comes in. Then in the research phase, you put yourself in people's shoes. You don't just decide because I have an idea, I want to just design it. Nobody will buy it. Nobody will buy it. We are all Nigerians. So we have to understand that we have different people from different tribes and different regions that come together, but we all are one because what one person suffers is what the other suffers too. So okay, okay, let's move on. In the research phase, where your user story is being taken into note, the user personnel, sometimes you go into the field to get real life feedbacks on your idea, or you have ideas that you work on due to what you feel the target users, who are the end users, go through. For the schools just joining us, what we are talking about is product management and product design. Product management in the terms of how a product comes from the idea phase to the testing and the launching phase. Because you all are going to produce something, you are geniuses, and we are looking forward to whatever ideas people are going to bring to life. Because Mark Zuckerberg was once a student like you. Tapek Zwan, who is a crypto enthusiast, was once a student like you. All these people are human beings like you, and they were once not considered geniuses, but once they produced something, then their value was brought into life, which we look forward to what each schools individually would do after this segment of Tech Bridge. And under the user personnel, where you go to get your target users, you have formats that the users, different ages, either you segment it from teenagers, children, adults, and the aged group. So it depends on who you are building your product for. Is it for the age that our parents who are grown or our grandparents, or is it for the teenagers, or is it for the youth, or is it for the children who are still coming up? So those are things that you have to put into place while considering an idea that you're bringing to life. Then there are different applications, there are different tools you use when you are taking down user stories, which goes from Google Forms. We'll be showing you how to use most of these tools. The Google Form is a tool which I'm sure you all are conversant with most of the Google tools already. My colleague the other day spoke about Google Sheets and spoke about Google Docs too. And I'm sure you all have practiced this in your own spare time on how to use these individual products. Then we have Trello, we have Jira. Why do we have these options? Because people like me and you put it in place that there's something one of these applications are missing out that we can add in hours and name it something. Most times, a new product is just a product that already exists, that an innovation was taken in place to make it either more faster, more efficient, or more user friendly. Being user friendly is the place of seeing what these particular users are missing out and what can they introduce into their product. So after that, we have the third phase. The third phase, you said, sorry, someone's saying something. Can you all mute your mics if you are not saying anything? So we are all in one place. If you are following, please let me know so I won't be carrying you all on a very high pace. I want you all to understand all the phases of the product development cycle, so we know what we are doing. Are you all following? If you're following, please indicate in the chat section by saying yes. Then we can keep forward and move on to.
Carry yourself small.
Section in the chat. Okay, DSS Super, thank you so much for that. I believe everyone is following. So the next phase in the product development cycle is the requirement. The requirement, JSS Buhari, thank you so much for your feedback. The requirement is the blueprint. Okay, the blueprint is like a plan. What are the requirements? What do you look to tick? What objective are you looking at answering? Or what problem are you looking at solving? Or what solution are you looking at providing? Then the requirement involves how you are going to go about providing such solutions. Such solutions are very important in the product development cycle because without having, okay, JSS Bagalada, good morning. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your answer. For the school just joining, what we are talking about is product development cycle, and we are also going to go in depth in discussing product design, which my colleague, Mr. Godwin, is going to take you all on. So you all should sit tight and hang on. Don't run away. And if you are not following, JSS Sunda, thank you so much for joining us. So if you are not following, please indicate in the chat section so I can go back, and because the essence for joining this is for you to understand and learn. So if you don't understand any part, please just call my attention so we can also carry everyone along. Thank you so much. So when we're talking about the requirements, it's considered the blueprint. The requirements are featured the app must have and the quality targets. Initially I mentioned that every product has solution. Every product has a solution it's bringing to the market. That's why you see two different products, same function but different names. Wow, they are trying to provide solutions to the market, but it's either they are bringing the solutions to the different names. Just says, please stop sharing your screen, please. You are distracting the class and
I'll start. They'll still do it.
and please mute your mic, JSS Karishi, please. Okay, I'll mute it for you. Okay. In the requirements, back to the requirement phase. For those just joining, I'm trying to explain the product development cycle, the phases we have. We are on the third phase. The first phase, who can tell me what the first phase is in the product development cycle? Look, if you can just indicate in the chat section, please. So I'll be very certain that you are following, please. What's the first phase in the product development cycle? Please just say that in the chat section so we know. Yes, the idea. Then what's the second phase, please? JSS Abaji, thank you for joining. What's the second phase in the product development cycle? Yep, JSS Peggy, thank you so much for the first phase. We have the research. JSS Peggy is most active. JSS, thank you so much. The JSS Secondary School, you all are doing extraordinary, and you all are geniuses. Thank you so much. I'm very happy that you all are joining and you all are very active. It means that our times are not being wasted. So the third phase which we are working on is the requirement phase. The requirement phase is the blueprint. Requirements, like I was saying, are the features the app must have, the quality targets. One, the examples of the functional requirements every product must have, because don't forget what we are discussing here It's all about software. We are discussing about software, not hardware. So when we are discussing about software, we have few things to take note. I'm a cybersecurity expert, so security is very, very important in whatever product you are producing because there are many consumers looking to take your money. I'll be very, very frank with you. There are many producers that will sue you if there's a breach in security. So you have to ensure that your security is top notch. That is why you need a team. You can't do it alone. You can't be the one designing. You can't be the one providing security. You can't be the one marketing. No, one person can't do it. This is why you need a team that you can work with, a team of people that you can trust. Okay, we have the research. Okay, we have Mbappe, Garishi, Dukpa, I'm very happy, Jabi. Thank you so much for your answers. You all are geniuses. You've not proven me wrong since I started. So I'm happy and I'm very, very delighted to be here with you all. So the second part of our research phase is the examples of non-functional parts. For the first phase, I did not give you examples of the functional requirements. When you have to create your account, these are parts that you see. You have the function of resetting your password. You have the function of uploading a photo. These features make the product stand out. Some products have KYC. Your KYC is know your customer. Some products have 2FA. Those are a 2FA means two-factor authentication. These features make the product stand out individually. Then let's go down to the non-functional examples. The speed, the speed part, you have to understand that in every product, speed matters. And we are in a generation that lack patience. In the generations before us, that was in the 19th, 18th generations before now, they didn't use the technology part. There was no technology part. They didn't have the digital part where whenever they send something, they get feedback instantly. They actually have the part where is either this when I made an example of letter, they send letters and sometimes letters take months before these letters get to their recipients. So they have to be patient regardless if you like it or not. There was no technology to make things faster. But in our generation these days, when you put things on Google, you need the answer ASAP. ASAP means as soon as possible. So we lack that patience. So when you are building a product, ensure that speed is a feature that you are putting into priority. Then, like I said, the security is also a feature that must be put into priority because if there's no security and there's a breach, you would find out why serving the public has its pros and its cons. When I mean pros and cons, I mean advantages and disadvantages. Which of you here has ever heard that? I've ever heard when a cloud, that's a cloud. You know, a cloud means a storage that we can't see. Which of you here have heard when a cloud got compromised and there was a hack, then people lost their stored data either to these hackers. Which of you, if you have, just indicate in the chat section that yes, I have, yes, I have. Then I know that we are all living in the same world together. Then under the requirements section, we have, which is the blueprint, we have the tools for creating different requirements. The tools for creating different requirements involve the Notion, the Google Docs. Google Docs, again, you all can hear Google Docs again. Google Docs, like I told you, was introduced by my colleague, Mr. Chima, who took you all on Google Sheets. I'm sure you all are geniuses in that aspect now. If your uncle should call you and tell you he needs you to do inventory for him, or he needs you to take notes of some inventories, I'm sure you all can handle that. I'm very certain. Because these things we are teaching you all, this tech bridge, are skills for life. There are skills that can pay you for life. You don't have to dust your CV, the paper form, and take it to an office to get a job in our world today. Some people, this device we're using now, your laptop, your phones are how they get paid. This is how they are making their money. So I don't want you to ever have any limitations on what you can achieve. Do you all get me? So I can see your answers coming in. You said we have. Yes, yes, Mbappe, you haven't. Wow, okay, that's fine. That's very fine. But I believe now you pay attention when you hear about cloud being compromised. You know that it means that the cloud has been hacked or the security has been breached. So please, Jesus Mbappe, take note and whenever you have situations like a hack or there's a compromise that has happened. Then you realize that it was either white. There are different type of hackers. Like you all are fortunate to have a cybersecurity expert bringing you this segment of tech brief, which is the product development cycle. We have the white hackers. White hackers are the hackers you bring to your system to test what you have. Sorry, someone has their mic unmuted. Please mute your mic so other people can listen and get the best from this, please. I think Mr. Oyebola, your mic is unmuted. Please mute it. I've done that for you. So there are different type of hackers. We have the white hackers, which devices like Apple, Google, they employ them to come and test their security to see how strong this security is, because there are forums where these hack events that has happened in the past are being uploaded to. I'm part of that forum. We all see different hack activities that have happened in the past, so we can take note and prevent them from happening in the future. That is why I told you keeping data are very important. Writing it down. Your brain is very powerful. Your computer is a fast device and a dull device. My colleague yesterday mentioned that. Why the computer is a very dull device is because in as much as it is very fast, if you write and you did not save your device before, unfortunately, we are in a country that still has power problem. If you did not save your device, your program or whatever project you're working on before the power gets cut off, your computer or your phone, unfortunately, might not save it or unless you give it the prompt to save. So this is why it is a dull device. But your brain has the capacity to be able to remember most things, even if you don't jot it down. But will you want to put your brain through that stress? No, you won't. Keep you want to keep the flow, the chain of thoughts going. You want to keep moving forward because what you think today is not what you think tomorrow. Ideas that come to you today is not ideas that will come to you tomorrow. And there's something I want you to always realize about ideas. The faster you get the idea, it's very fast to start implementing it and working on it. Because if you don't work on it, someone else is going to get that idea and start working on it. Then you will have the situation where you start saying, now my idea be that. I was one that talked about that first, but you did not work on that. So it is no one's fault that you did not work on that. So it is very, very important that you implement your idea, take action. Action is very key. Action is very, very important. Action is something that is a requirement when you are working on a product, because constant action helps with providing solutions. If you have the likes of Zuckerberg and the likes of someone asked what is the requirement? Who can help GSS Guagalada by answering what the requirement is, what the requirement involves? Who can help them answer that? Let me know if you are following. I just explained that now. That was the part I just spoke about. That was the third product development cycle I spoke about. Who can help? Please just write it down. You can just make a short summary about it. Write it down in the chat section, please. Let everyone learn. Let everyone catch up with this. GSS Sherry said, what does it take, sir? Your question is not clear, so I can't answer that. Please, if you are asking questions, please, you have to be very specific so that everyone can learn from it, because we are all students here. I'm also a student.
No, we don't understand.
You know, GSS, I said you don't. What don't you understand, please? Because we're working with science. I asked the product requirements, what does it entail? Somebody asked, so please write it down in the chat section so that we all can learn. So the fourth phase of the product development cycle is the architecture phase that involves the front end, the API, that is application programming interface, the back end, and the database. The front end involves the part where the front end is like when you go to your search bar and you put google.com, these are things that you can see. These are things that you can interact with. Or you go to your search bar and write facebook.com. That's what the front end is. That's what you can see. Then the API is like, okay, the API is a phase that connects the front end and the back end together. Like when you click login, API means application programming interface. Please, is everyone following me? If you are not following, please let me know so I either explain or GSS Peggy, GSS Pape for answering. Please, you all can refer back to the chat section if you have questions regarding requirements. You all are geniuses. I love you all. Thank you so much. So, as I was saying, the API is the application programming interface that connects the front end to the back end. I will explain what back end means, but take note of what the application programming interface is. Without the application programming interface, when you type facebook.com or you type google.com, you won't get anything. All you get is a page that tells you does not exist. So the back end is the part of the website that you cannot see, but that back end is very, very important because without the back end, a lot of things will go wrong. The back end is what ensures that your password is correct. It's what ensures that whatever thing you click on your search bar comes back to you. So the back end is not the part that you see, but they are the part of the engine room that ensures that your engine is running. It's just like your car that you have. You cannot see the engine until you open the bonnet. The back end is like your car engine. But without your engine, your car cannot go anywhere. The outside of your car is like the front end. That's what you can see. But without your back end, your car is useless. Then we have the database. The database is just like your cloud, like I spoke about. Just like you have your hardware. The database ensures that JSS Yagoji, please mute your mic. I'll do that for you now. The database ensures that where informations are stored and kept, they can be reached. For instance, when you search google.com, you'll be asked to put in your account, that's your username and your password. What ensures that what username and password that you have signed up with is still available in google.com is the database. If the database is breached, you won't have any account on google.com. It's as good as gone. This is why I said your security is very, very important because your security is what ensures that the system you create keeps functioning. Then the fifth phase of the product development cycle is what involves the design and development. But we'll go to design first. That's why I told you design and development is often required as D and D. It's called D and D because both of them, design and development, go hand in hand. The design involves the UI UX. This is what makes the app attractive. This is what makes it catchy. For your UI means user interface. While UX like saxophone means user experience. Those are short algorithm for both. Instead of writing user interface in full, you just write UI. Instead of writing user experience in full, you write UX. So the UX is how your app feels when someone is using it. The user can find what they need quickly. Like, I don't know if any of you used Apple back then and you're using it now. The Apple device was not user friendly then, but people loved it. But now it's more user friendly because we have devices like Samsung who are very competitive, providing same thing Apple provides, that's the iPhone. But the Samsung provides the Android version, but people prefer Samsung to other Android devices because they believe Samsung has better security and gives you value for your money. Then we have the UI. The UI is the user interface. This is how the website or the app look. The color, the typography, the animation. This is where AI, one of my colleagues spoke about AI, comes in. You incorporate AI into your device, into your project, into your product to make it more easier to be used. Okay, WhatsApp, for an example. There was a time WhatsApp was introduced earlier. WhatsApp could not work for many phones, but now we have WhatsApp being used for all phones because it's now becoming more developed. And there's something else I was going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you that when we get to the testing and release phase of your product development cycle. Then under the UI, which is the fifth, which is the design and development phase, we have wireframe. Wireframe is a simple sketch or outline of a website or app screen. This is like a prototype phase where you send your prototype to the um, board of director or your the developer who owns the product that you're working on, because you have to show a prototype to the owner of the product before you ensure that you produce. So you mitigate and reduce expenditures, because in every product development there is a capital being designated for it. Just like you all are going to produce some innovative products at the end of this tech bridge, which is the essence of introducing you all to these skills, because we all want to use one of your products either before the year runs out or GSS Dubai, you said I'm too fast. Okay, I'll try to reduce my pace. So sorry, I'm trying to work with time. So we have tools that we use for the design and development segment of the product development cycle. These tools are known from Figma, Canva. I'm sure you already know Canva because my colleague spoke about Canva the other day. You already know about Canva. And
Yes, sir.
we have Canva.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you so much for answering. Um, Thank you so much for answering. You all are following. You all are geniuses, and I'm grateful to be here with you all. So, we have the development phase of the product development cycle, which involves the building engine. Development phase is what ensures that the detailed part of this product is being looked into. The mechanical aspect, the structural aspect, the electrical aspect. These aspects are the parts that you don't see, but this aspect is what ensures that this product is very swift and very, very lovely. This is what makes you going back to them. Okay, for instance, we have Oraimo today. We used to have New Age. We have different products in the market. What makes you go back to this product? Is that your experience with this product and how they served you in the past? So in the development phase, we have the front end, the back end, the database, and the tools. Then we have the seventh, which involves quality assurance and launching. Before a product is being sent to the market, there's what we call testing phase. Without the testing phase, you don't have a product, because you cannot just tell somebody that I have designed Oraimo, but you don't know if it can charge an iPhone or it can charge an Android. That's not a product. That's just a trial and error, because you have to design a prototype, then test it. You have to at least have this where user story, like I spoke about. I spoke about user story, one of the phases, if you all remember. User story and user research is a very, very important phase in your product development cycle. You have to have a few people that you use for testing. You have people that will give you feedback, honest feedback, not your father or your mother that would want to butter your ass. When I mean butter your ass, they want to tell you things that you want to hear. So in regards to having the testing, you have to have people that are very honest, that are telling you what you need to hear, what would serve you. Okay, I'll slow down. GSS and Papi, so sorry, so sorry. I'll try and slow down. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. So we are still in the testing phase. The testing phase is where you get your honest feedback about this product. This is the process of checking a website or app to make sure it works correctly before people start using it. One of the important things to check is make sure every part of it works properly. You are not the one using this product, remember, it's the public that are using it. And any little bit of dissatisfaction from a product is a turn off. Many people will start giving it a bad review. And reviews are the engine room of a product. Your best review comes from your most dissatisfied customer. Okay, you said I should show you number 6 again. The number 6 is your development cycle. Sorry, we'll all share this with you all. You all also will have access to this segment on YouTube, so you can also refer back to that. So you know we are working with time, so I just went back to number 6 for those who needed it. So let's move forward. Then we have the prevent crashes. Crashes are bound to happen, but try and minimize it. Initially, I spoke about your cloud. There are different types of cloud we have there. For those who don't know what a cloud is a storage device that is like in the air. You can't see it,
So
but
please go back to the last slide.
I'm on the last slide. That is number 7. Don't worry about the slides. Focus on my teaching. The slides will be shared to you. You would get the slides and you would read and you would absorb everything you need to absorb. Just listen and grab these lessons so that you don't make mistakes. But regardless, this will be shared on Induce YouTube. So you have every room to go about this and learn on your own pace. So my apologies on those who said I'm fast. I'm trying to be as fast as possible so that my colleague who is going to take care of product
No problem, sir. No problem.
come on board. Okay, so we
No
also
problem, sir.
know that in every product there are batches. If you go and look at your pure water, look at your bottled water, look at your biscuits, for instance, look at your phones, their batches, they were produced in batches. And how many of you here have heard of a product callback? If you have heard of a product callback, please indicate on the chat section so I know that I'm talking with humans like myself.
I'm
Because I
talking
know
with humans like myself.
Yes, sir.
yeah, okay, very good, very good. Thank you so much for answering. So, in regards to product callback, it's a phase where the product is actually called back due to the fact that probably there is an error that was noticed. From time to time, you hear of a car, either Tesla or BYD. BYD is an electrical car that was called back due to maybe a malfunction or something going wrong. So the way they can track which of the products have these issues are with batches. Products are produced with batches. That is why you have expiration date. The expiration date comes from the day it was produced, and the batch number is always indicated in every product so that they can track which batch has the error, and so they can improve on the error rather. Then one of the important things you have to note is your users must be happy. Like I told you, the satisfaction is not what you should allow in your product because the satisfaction will lead to unhappy users and it leads to bad reviews. So there are different tools you can use in your testing phase. We have the Jira, we have the Jira, we have the Google Sheet, which you already know about. I'm sure you all are already experts in Google Sheets or almost experts. We have the automated test script. All these things are tools for getting feedback on how the quality of a product is. What feedback are you getting on it? It is very, very important to get feedback on your product because without feedback, you don't have a product. Feedbacks help you improve. And I'll give you a quick takeaway for you to note. In every product, there's always room for improvement. Don't ever feel that because the product was produced, then the developers keep mass producing it. No, they keep looking for how to make this product more better. Like I mentioned, iPhone initially, it wasn't user friendly. People loved it because of how rigid it was and strong. But right now, it is user friendly. You have your search bar on almost every slide of your wallpaper because they want to make it easier for you to interact with these devices. And in most of these tools mentioned, you will see, okay, Google Forms. I'm meant to take you all of Google Forms to show you how Google Forms operate. So I will open Google Forms quickly to show you the interface on what it looks like. I'm not going to make a product for you, but I believe you all can. You would make it. You would give up. You would write some. You write feedbacks about it. Give me a minute to open Google Forms for you to see what it looks like. So, like I was saying, this feedback is very, very necessary because you improve with feedback. And the Asians, they have a word called agile methodology, and they have another word which is called um, okay. I'm trying to open Google Forms so that I can show you all what Google Forms looks like. Okay. You all should hang on. My colleague is helping me with the Google Forms. Okay. Can you all see my screen? Can you all see my screen? I'm on the Google Forms page. Please, you can see my
Yes,
screen.
sir.
Okay, very good and fine. So why we all use Google is because
Yes,
Google.
sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Google is a collaborative app. It makes collaboration with teams easier and better. Makes it faster. You can be in Bagalada and I can be in Jabi, and we can all be working on the same product because of the collaborative tool that Google enables. We have other we have other software you can use for this. We have your Microsoft, but we don't suggest Microsoft because it doesn't allow easy collaboration. You have to save then send through email, which makes it faster. So we also have for team work, we have Slack, we have WhatsApp, but WhatsApp is not really a team app. We have Slack, we have Canva, we have Figma, we have GitHub, and we have Microsoft Teams. But Microsoft Teams basically is just like your Zoom, like we're using now. So let's come back to Google Forms. In Google Forms, on this part, you will see untitled form. The untitled form is what you use to describe what you are working on, what form are you building? Because remember, your form is for your consumers who are your end users. Those are your target users. Those are the people you have in mind to work for. So our description will be in this foundation. Then you have to write, okay, what question do you want to ask? Was Tech Bridge helpful? You can decide to make your forms as innovative as you choose to. Then you have options. You have a part of choosing what kind of options do you want. Is that you make it to be should I check or should I have more options where you write? So this option one can be anything. Yes. Then we have no. Then you can have others. The others now tells okay, what other view do you have? It keeps going or it keeps giving you more options to choose, and you can have multiple multiple sections. It's not just this question. There are rooms for increasing the questions you need. I mistakenly duplicated it, but I'm just trying to show you how you can have multiple questions and you make it easier to answer either yes or no. Then my colleague spoke about AI too. There are AI features incorporated into Google Forms or other Google products. Why? Because they want to make it easier for you. AI is here and AI has come to stay. On your iPhone, you have Siri. I don't know if any of you have heard of Siri before. Siri is like an interactive hub that comes up whenever you need an assistant. So it's also an AI. So AI exists in different forms. Cars have AI. There are cars that park themselves. There are cars that drive themselves like Tesla. These cars are actually in existence. It's not like in those days where we still dream or believe that it will come to pass. Which is why I tell you that innovation doesn't sleep, it keeps growing and growing. Thank you, GSS Gogalada, head of Siri. Thank you so much. So at this junction, I believe you all are at least you have ideas on what a product development entails. Please, if you have ideas and you are at least very, very sure that you learned one or two today, please indicate on the chat section that you learned one or two. And okay, very good, Jesus Karishi. Thank you so much. I know you all learned one or two. Jesus Yankoji said, please, sir, what app are you using now? I was using Google Forms. Yankoji, yes, I was using Google Forms. Can you hear? I was using Google Forms. It's a Google app, a Google product that I know that you all probably have used in the past. So at this junction, I would exit now for my colleague to come and take the stand and walk you through product design and at least help you all understand what product design entails. So thank you all so much for your time. Thank you for listening to me. I appreciate. And remember, we'll be giving you people some innovative tasks to do, and we want you to tag us in your Google Sheets, your individual Google Sheets, your individual Google Forms to tell us, okay, we should also be part of the collaborators in this your sheet, so we can also give answers about your innovation on what you are working on, because it is very, very important to have feedback. Like I told you, you should not just create a product and believe that these products are going to be perfect fit in the market. No, feedbacks help you innovate. Feedbacks help you improve. I have some chats here. Let me look at the chats before I give the space to my colleague, Mr. Godwin. Okay, how do you copy all your Google Forms? Okay, how do you mean how do you collaborate or how do you copy? I can't get that. Copying is not was not part of what I spoke about. Yes, Jangoji, I believe. Okay, thank you. I believe I answered you. Um, okay. Please, Jangoji, please mute your mic so that we can also hear others. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you all for your time. And remember, we would have this added to our YouTube, so you can go back to watch it again. And like I said, we will give you all innovative tasks. You have to create something innovative that will serve the world, so that 5 years from now, I'll be proud of you geniuses that yes, I taught this group of individuals who are making good notes in the world today, changing the world and impacting the world in different ways. So if you have any questions, don't forget to relate to your teachers so your teachers can relate to us and we will have answers to them on the YouTube. Remember, we are your partners and we are going to keep working with you to the end. So do you have any questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay, write down your questions on the chat section or you send it to your teachers so we will move forward, because I won't want to store your time or take more of your time. So please sit tight and wait for my colleague, Mr. Godwin. He will be taking you on product design. Like I told you, remember, product
Yes, sir. Please check the comment box.
I'll check the comment box. Okay, let me check it before I round up. The product development cycle, you need your product designers, you need your product marketers, you need your product testers. You can't just do it alone. So as a team, you have to work together. Remember, a product development is a team sport, not an individual sport. So please remember to work together. And remember, you all have different strengths. You all are geniuses, and you all need each other. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you all for coming and attending today. Please sit tight and wait for my colleagues.
I want to ask question.
The disadvantages of the requirement, there are limited disadvantages. Why? Because you might get so hung up in working in a product that you forget that you have to release it.
Please, I did not understand what you said last.
Okay.
Sir, please want to ask question. What is the definition?
What is the straight definition of cloud?
Cloud are storage platforms that exist on the air that you don't see. Just take cloud. Okay, layman definition of a cloud is a storage system that you can't see but it exists. Examples of cloud are Amazon Web Service, AWS. Amazon Web Service provides cloud storage for United States military and the White House. So they are the most recommended cloud services that we have. So thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, please don't forget to send them out. And you can also collaborate with Google Forms as well as other Google tools out there. So thank you so much. Don't forget to add us as collaborators when you are working on your innovative projects. We will be here to guide you all through it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.